No. Now we're live.
We're live. We're live. Well, we're live on YouTube and on Facebook. Hold, please. We're supposed to go live on Instagram here in a second. It always takes Instagram a second. All right. We're live on Instagram now. Yay for StreamYard, our sponsor. Just joking. I'm not trying to sell StreamYard, but that is.
Are we getting money? I didn't see that.
I know sometimes I'm like, should I be monetizing some of this stuff? I can't even be bothered. But in case y'all wanted to know how we stream to different platforms in one show is through this really cool app called StreamYard. So for anybody who cares.
It's funny what you just said. Should I monetize that? Can't be bothered. And today's topic is...
Oh, yeah.
Let's dissect that statement. Can't be bothered.
Can't be bothered.
Money, who cares?
In the UK, because I got a proper education. I went to the University of East Anglia in Norwich, England, and they would all say, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered about anything.
I can't be bothered to do anything, right?
Right. And then, did you know Fanny means something totally different?
Oh, I know. They get worked up about that word.
I was like, I lost my fanny pack. You what, Miwa? I'm like, I lost my fanny pack. What? Like, I can't put my fanny pack.
Yeah, I think it's like up there with the C word. And in here, that's just like a ridiculous word. Like, okay.
Right. Oh, my goodness. Okay, yeah, we can unpack. I can't be bothered. I mean, yeah. So today's topic, right, the shadow side of money manifestation and how to fix it or what to do about it.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this today.
Yeah. So do you want to lay the foundation of some of the trends that you notice out there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is one of my favorite things to get worked up about. Just this idea around what manifesting, people seem to kind of have either no belief, it's not real, you can't manifest anything, that's just spiritual woo-woo talk, or kind of this false, like, if I just meditate hard enough, if I make a dream board, if I put crystals under my pillow, if I do this ceremony with this and that, then abundance will just come to me. I'll just have money and a hot boyfriend and a big house and a pool, and I'll be an Instagram influencer. And we're like, my favorite, there's like tones, like play this tone. And then that's like, oh my gosh, my bank account went up, and this is why, like, sometimes our industry is, we have like these kind of bad actors that are like, I don't think they're like, wake up that day and are like, I will now tell a lie. But it's like this idea that you can meditate your way to financial security or financial anything. But at the flip side, I do believe in the power of manifesting, which will define of like, hey, what do I want?
Yeah.
And can I have it? And what are steps to take to get there? And then all the surprising stuff comes up of like, what's blocking it? What's blocking me from receiving X, Y, or Z? So there's that. There's the manifesting part, which we can really get into, and it's really juicy and cool. And then there's also like a really fun thing to talk about, which is money. And there's money, and then there's the energy of money. And those are two different things. Money is an idea. It's a social agreement. It's a social contract. But what is the energy of money, and can you work with that on a spiritual level, and what does that look like, and what does that mean, what does it not mean? And the shadow side that people fall into with like, I'm going to manifest money, even right there, like, you're manifesting an idea. That's a little bit funny, is that you can be spiritually bypassing, you can be bypassing reality, you can be checked out, you can be doing a lot of nonsense, and then just like, like what you and I say, you can't own your way to rent, like you agreed to be in a body, you agreed to be on earth, you have to do things, you have to use your third chakra. So I think like, it's like so many people are Googling this, like, how do I manifest money? How do I manifest money? And it's kind of sad when sometimes I hear also commentary on this of like, it's all bullshit and it's all just a scam. And those influencers or spiritual teachers are just playing a trick on, it's all nonsense talk. What's that?
We're trying to take your money.
Yeah. And right. Sign up for our program and blah. But it's not that, it's not A or B here. It's just that like, this is a real thing, but it takes all 7 chakras to receive what you want to receive in life, and everyone's had that experience when you like give someone a compliment and they're like, oh no, I was thinking, I can't, I'm not gonna, or people have a scarcity mindset and that really limits everything they do in life. So I think what we want to go over today is like, what is money manifesting? And I don't even like saying it like that. Like, I don't think you can manifest money. And what are pitfalls to avoid? What are actually sound spiritual practices to help you have more security in life and, identify what are you actually trying to manifest and manifest that. So that's what we're going to go over today.
Woo! And, because I did say can't be bothered and I was kind of busted on that, I am going to come back to
can't be bothered.
I don't be bothered about this, which is on February 27th. 3 and I are teaching a free pop-up class to anyone who would like to attend. You don't need to have any spiritual experience. You can have tons of energy work experience. We do have a lot of our beepers, Boulder Psychic Institute students attend these free classes quite often. But February 27th, instead of talking about love, us Capricorns are going to talk about how to heal your money wounds and rewire your abundance mindset. So it really is kind of a springboard to what we're talking about today, where we want to kind of present the problem and then we're going to show you how to solve it in this free pop-up class. So if you have not joined our newsletter, which is at the bottom of our website, and maybe 3 in a second might pop it in a link, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's when I try and put things in the link.
I'm actually trying to like mark it like that's supposed to be the point of this. But 3 and I always just jump right in and at the end we're like, oh crap, we forgot to talk about the cool stuff we're doing.
Giving a hard sell.
So I'm trying to remember today, especially since I, can't be bothered with monetizing StreamYard.
Yeah. No, I know. I'll give you the link for the newsletter sign up because I think you have to post it.
The newsletter is, for everyone listening, is how you get all the cool new stuff that I'm creating and with 3. So it's not necessarily our set curriculum. Our set curriculum, you can read all about that on our website. And that curriculum to me is pretty awesome. I don't know, you could maybe meet some other students and find out what they have to say, but free pop-ups, workshops, any kind of new, fresh stuff that we're creating. I can't be bothered to put that on the website and swap that all the time. So we just pop that out in a newsletter. Okay. So if you want to join our newsletter, please do. And us Gen Xers have finally figured out how to allow you guys to subscribe to the amount of emails or the types of emails that you get now. So if you're annoyed with the number of emails we send or you want more, click that at the bottom that says that you can
customize, which I write a thought piece every Saturday, which is delightful. Thank you.
Really good.
Yeah. I put it in the private chat, but you've got to put it in the public chat because for some reason I can't. It doesn't let me sign in. Oh. Someone could probably solve that problem, but not us today. Yeah. Oh, I like this comment. Meditate money in my bank.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this, Connie. Money is an idea. You can't,
Right. Okay, so I have popped in our newsletter in the chat. If you haven't signed up for it, please do, because you do get some really great information in there. And that is where you find out about all of our free fun stuff that we do. All right, so as I've been meditating on this topic, I like to kind of take like the overarching theme and why do we have a shadow side of money manifestation? And it really has to do with the Great Divide. And the Great Divide is not left or right, yin or yang. male, female, winter, summer. It has everything to do with spirit and body, and how there is such a huge division between, and I'm talking about globally, most people, but I'm going to speak to whoever's listening directly to you. The separation between you as a spiritual being and you as a body. And we have not been properly educated on how to become teammates with our bodies. Instead, we get programmed, conditioned that our bodies are an illusion. It's something to overcome. They're stinky, they're gross, they excrete sweat, they poop, they they act funny sometimes. They say ands and ums, and we are very much conditioned to beat up on our bodies, to make our bodies the problem. And then the way that that gets externalized out into the big world is that there is a war, if you will, or a lack of communication between physical reality and spiritual reality. Whereas if you study all of the great teachers and avatars out there, really the main thread that they're talking about is how do you have heaven on earth? How, and yes, that's very poetic and but what that really means is how do you take the spiritual reality and merge it with the physical reality? And the number one way to do that is to step into communication spiritually as a spiritual eternal light being with your physical body, right? How do you come into your whole body and acknowledge that this body is limited, right? But this body is also your vessel to get to have really cool experiences here on life, including eating chocolate and having sex, but also, right? Can you manifest money? Can you take care of this body? Can you go on vacations? Can you find love? Like, we get to experience all these cool things in the body. And the degree to which we have what you were talking about, the difference between some people who think, oh, that manifesting meditation stuff is all BS. And then the people who are all into manifesting and meditation and spiritual stuff, there's this kind of ungrounded, unrealistic quality in them. This is just very much an outward representation of exactly what's happening with most people on the inside. No communication between the spirit and the body, which means that there's kind of like two camps, right? If you know about chakras are energy centers that manage your body. But if you will, the first three chakras, the lower chakras, right? Which is the spiritual community, they get a bad rap. But I always say,
the basic ones.
Yeah, the lower chakras. No, lower is not bad, okay? There is no hierarchy of chakras in your body, okay? And if you will, those lower chakras, I see them as functioning as the body chakras. Those are the chakras that really manage the body. So we have people who are in the poo-pooing of spirituality and meditation and energy camp, and they're really just focused on the lower chakras, body, 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 body. It's all about physical reality. Making money means, put some elbow grease into it, lots of effort, work hard, and sometimes, even that camp gets stuck in a poverty mentality, working their tails off and not getting anywhere with that. I mean, there's flaws to both camps is what I'm trying to say, right? And then the more spiritual camp, if you will, or the one who's into the meditation and the etheric stuff, are the people who are really into the upper chakras, okay? The energy centers that manage, how you see yourself and how you communicate and how you kind of get information and intuit things, or have sparks of inspiration. And the two camps are very much at odds, and it's very much how representative of how spiritually and physically as an individual, you, who I'm talking to, whoever's listening, are at odds within yourself, right? And you have to be able to integrate all of your chakras if you want to manifest anything, money, love, a vacation. You've got to integrate all of the chakras. It's not just an upper chakra meditative your way into money into your bank account. You actually do have to do shit. You have to do stuff. But if you get stuck in only doing, you will find possibly a lot of struggle or effort. Or, you kind of look at some of the mega bazillionaires out there, you kind of start to get sick.
Yeah.
You get sick with greed. You get sick because not everything's in alignment, and you aren't oming. You aren't in that level of alignment, right? And so integrating all of the chakras, manifesting really takes all of the chakras. And what we teach here at Boulder Psychic Institute in the very second month of our training, Healing and Manifesting 102, we teach students the manifesting equation, which is a very simple 2-step equation. Okay, you got to come take the class to find out. Mm-hmm. We'll teach you tools on how to do that. But general idea, you have the intention of what you want, you send it to the universe, right? But then you also have to receive it, okay, in the body on all chakra levels. So we have lots of discussions here at the Boulder Psychic Institute around, are you trying to manifest something that is based in fantasy or based in reality? And very simply, an intention or something you want to manifest that's based in fantasy is something that you can't actually have in all of your chakra levels. Some people want to win the lottery. I mean, we hear that a lot with, I want to win the lottery, I want to win the lottery, right? And how many times do you hear the story of somebody winning the lottery and then that money is just gone in like a month, right?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't actually have the money on all the levels. They could have the idea of it. They, could say that they wanted it. They could see themselves as having it, as winning the lottery, but maybe they couldn't see themselves as being a millionaire, right? And then that starts to dwindle as we go down in those lower chakras. They don't know how to manage their money. They don't know how to feel the vibration of wealth and how to, cultivate that. And so hence then all of a sudden that money is gone, right? So if you want to manifest something, it has to be based in reality. Can you really have it in your whole body? I remember when I was in my 20s, I wanted to marry a bazillionaire and just live on a yacht and live the party Paris Hilton Kardashian lifestyle. That's what I wanted, and then when I got real with myself, I was like, here's the thing. I am meant to teach this stuff, right? And if I lived that lifestyle, I would be a freaking mess. I'd probably be an alcoholic. I would be a total shit show, right? Drama. And it
became boring. I mean, I feel like we're on the yacht again.
And my body, I'd probably kill it off early. It just like the whole purpose of me being here on the planet would have been completely wasted if I had somehow been able to manifest that. Luckily, my chakra system was like, nope. Anytime I would get close to some uber wealthy dude, it would nope, my body would just flail and not even allow me to have that thing that I thought I wanted. So really where I want to start as a dialogue is, can you start to get real about what you want to, and I'm not trying to be a poo-pooer on dreams, but can you be real, right? Can you get real about things?
Well, and specific. Your example of what if I meditated every day to manifest winning the lottery, and then maybe I tricked the universe and I won the lottery. That's I call that like a dirty mock-up. Like, well, why did you want to win the lottery? Because who cares? You won the lottery, great. And then, you want to win the lottery. Well, because I want a big fancy house. Well, why do you want that? I want status. Oh, okay, that's what you're really talking about. Or you want security, or you want love because you think money will get you love. Like, keep drilling down. What is it you actually want? Because you don't want money, because money is an idea. It's zeros and ones in a computer screen. You want the thing money gets you. And so money is cool.
Well, and that's where I always say, if you're manifesting money for the sake of money, and this is where 3 always talks about money as being like a hot chick, right?
Yeah.
Where, you can't go grasping for a hot chick. She will run. Right?
What's so weird about it? Like, money will make me, I need it.
Like, I need that hot chick or hot person, right? And nobody likes that energy. Money doesn't like that energy. Money will run from you. And so that is where manifesting for the sake of money has never worked for me. I've tested it many, many, many times.
Come on, man.
I know. Money likes to be used. She doesn't want to be hoarded. She doesn't want to be jailed in a bank account. She wants to have a free flow in and out like the ocean.
And she doesn't care about you. She doesn't reward super spiritual people or good people or bad people. Money doesn't care who you are. There's no like, I'm really good. God will give me money. And she'll leave. She'll be like, bye. Gone.
Yeah, for a better experience.
Right. So, I mean, I think it's interesting. I could talk about money all day because I find it so fascinating. On one hand, we did this exercise at the BPI once that was super cool, where it was the instructor. It was like, okay, everyone take out your wallet right now and take out your purse, your wallet. And like lay it all out. And like some people had like a super tiny, cute, mine was like a mess. I had like, it's all in my backpack. And then it's like, this is this is how you're treating the idea of money. It's kind of, you've got, or maybe you have like $400 jammed in there. Like, well, what are you doing with $400? It's cash, on a Tuesday. But it's super cool to look at how you think about money. Do you think money is dirty, corrupt, bad, good, scary, uncomfortable? And like imagine that vibe as you're putting that on a future friend or partner or collaborator. Money is a tool. And if you're thinking about it super weird, like, ooh, you're dirty. Money is like, I'm a tool that you people invented to cooperate.
Yeah. And just like any tool, it can be used for good, for bad.
Right.
Used well, it can be used incorrectly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's super fun to think about, like, what are the assumptions you make about money? What do you deep down think about it? Are you scared of it? Do you resent it? I mean, and especially now we're getting into like money is being concentrated more and more and more to a smaller group of people. And that's a very fascinating thing. What will happen, and humans, it could be chaos. We could also start to cooperate better, grow our own food more, go fine. So one, check your assumptions about money. Yeah. What do you really think about money?
And in that pop-up class, I'm going to show you some techniques for how to release those assumptions. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then, instead, like what 3 said, you want to look at what is it that you want money to get you.
Right.
So I never do a manifesting meditation for money anymore, but I do it for experiences. As I get older, I need less and less things. So, but when I wanted a new house, I, did a meditation on manifesting a new home. But it's what is it that you want the money to get you? Right. And you put your intention towards that, the money will always follow. The money will always follow. But
or a solution will follow.
It has to be realistic. It can't be a fantasy. And you actually do have to take some steps.
Yeah.
But if all you're doing is working, taking steps, that's going to flop. You got to have both. Right. Yeah. I just, I use social media as my source for like, well, what is everybody talking about with like manifesting money? And just this morning, this guy on TikTok was like, 6 months ago, I nothing. I was living out of my car and, I didn't have a girlfriend. I was single and da, 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 da. And then I meditated and then I came up with this sound, and zillionaire, and I've got a girlfriend, and and I'm like, okay, so you skipped a lot of the steps in between, and he's selling, listen to my sound thing.
He's working as an online influencer, which is a job, which is earning him money.
Yes, and
great, get it, but let's call it what it is.
Yeah, let's talk about, and he totally skipped, like, I great, props to him, fist bump. Yes, I'm glad that you figured out a way to make money. And can you please talk about that you actually had to do shit? Like, you produced this video, you produced that sound, somehow you got it out there, you probably hustled, you probably, talked to as many people about that sound, like there were steps that he absolutely had to take in his physical flesh to make that happen. He didn't just listen to that sound and somehow record it with his telepathy onto the computer and send it through his brainwaves into social media. He actually had to use his physical body to do stuff.
Right. And it's, yeah, I think most people are aware that there's not this, like, I just put a crystal around my neck, or I play the sound, I meditate the sound, woo, and money comes. But
it's the new one now, right? Because before it was just meditate.
now there's a sound. And then like, it didn't work. Well, did you make the sound?
Yeah.
You made the sound wrong. That's why.
I think we should market masturbation meditation.
Oh, I'm in. Yeah. Say that right now. It's like, okay. What is that? Putting your intention into your orgasm. Yeah, let's do it.
Right. When I taught Tantra, I was like, you could probably, use your orgasm to manifest stuff.
I know. Well, and everyone, then there's always the word abundance in there too. And like abundance and money are always kind of like side by side, which again, like, hold it. Abundance doesn't mean money, and money doesn't mean abundance. Those are two different things. Like, because newsflash, are wealthy people super happy? No, they're dying by suicide all the time. They're disasters a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's hard to make friends. You can't leave without a bodyguard. What kind of lifestyle is? Yeah.
No. So you want, right. So if you're thinking about abundance, separate money. I want an abundance of friends, of space, of time, of energy, I want, an abundance of a sense of security. I want abundance of creativity. That's where you're going. And, but I also want to be sensitive to, like, I know that feeling when the pinch comes in of like, oh shit, man, I'm spending more than I'm making. The money coming in is less than it used to be. Everything's getting more expensive. And then that, like, panic that you, even when you know better, you're like, that fear starts coming, and oh no. And that's where I'd kind of like to speak to today of, like, for people watching that have that feeling right now of like, oh no. How do I be relaxed and chill about the vibration of money? How do I not just like, come on, please come to me? Like, what are because I know what that feels like. And I know how hard it is to, like, calm your body down and realize it's okay. I am going to figure it out. We're going to figure our life out. We're going to figure out how to live. We're not in a war zone. Some of us are, if you're living in certain neighborhoods right now. If you're in Minnesota, you're in a war zone. But I just want to speak to this of how that feels. We do live in a capitalist society. We do live with money as the way you get things. What's the next step when you're, like, in panic mode?
Yeah. Well, what happens with most people when they get in panic mode, and that is the lower chakras.
Mm-hmm.
Lower chakras.
Your first chakra thinks your body's going to die.
It literally goes into fight or flight survival when you know, and I've worked with many clients over the years where all of a sudden they wake up and they're like, oh my God, I have no more money in my bank account and I haven't been working in a few years. Oh
And that tracks.
you know, or like a woman gets divorced and she, you know, has a decent settlement and she doesn't get a job for 5 years and then all of a sudden can't pay for anything. And like, these are some of the clients that I've had over the years where it's like, they just wake up and now they're like, I need help. And I'm like, don't come to me. Like, don't spend your last dollar.
But this is the wrong time for psychic.
This is the wrong time for up here. You got to get in that body, right? Because for most people, when they realize that, they go into freeze. It's fight, flight, or freeze, right? And for some reason, with money issues and finances or not being able to find a job, most people go into freeze. They don't go to fight. They maybe go to flight, you know, they flight and then they put their head in the sand or kind of try to pretend like nothing's happening. But that's also kind of a freeze. And so the biggest pattern I notice is that most people freeze. And if you are one of those people right now, and it's okay, there's no shame in this, okay? There's no right or wrong way to do life, okay? There's no right or wrong way to do life. We're all here to have whatever experience we decide on a deeper spiritual level that we wanted to come and have here, okay? And you're on your own path, okay? And if you're struggling with money right now, that's your path right now. That's okay. I have had many years in my 20s of eating rice and beans, never going out. I actually, you know, that was probably the thinnest time of my life, except for probably right now, because I didn't drink alcohol. I couldn't even afford it. You know,
your chips are low, man.
I mean, it was so low. I was thin, you know.
So low. I was sober. That's when you know you're broke, man. I can't even afford to go out and have drinks with my lady friends. Yep. The universe is teaching you a lesson right now.
I mean, I wasn't going to go whore myself out or steal money. So that's the other way to do it. But oh my God, that's hilarious. So I know what that's like, but I just first want y'all to hear, like, you're not doing it wrong. It's fine. Okay. You're having an experience and you're learning something from it. You're getting something from it. I always say nothing changes without validation.
Yeah.
Nothing changes without what does that mean? You can't change the situation you're in until you can validate and be cool with where you're at. It doesn't mean that you have to want to stay there, but you have to be like, yeah, here and okay, here's where I am.
I'm
in reality. Yeah. In my body, in reality, okay, sorry, body, I totally went unconscious to money, which is a huge one. So many people just go so unconscious to money. And that's why in that money class, I make my students pull out their wallet so they can have a physical representation of, you know, their unconsciousness around their physical container that they actually hold money in.
But you're literally carrying around, and you're like, you have expired gift cards. You've got
every mortified. And then I pull out my like perfect little, you know. And I came up with that class when I really still didn't have very much money, but I was like, oh, you guys just wait and see. I'm treating money with respect. Look at this beautiful wallet. All my money is put in there nicely. I don't keep my money with my receipts because I want to keep, you know, what I have with what I've spent separate, you know, in separate containers. I track my money, you know, carefully every month. But if you will, that's unconsciousness around money. You got to stay conscious. Do not take your eye off the ball if you're in the place of, oh crap, I don't have enough money right now. Okay. Yeah. Not looking at it isn't going to help.
This isn't like a monster under your bed situation where you just close your eyes and they go away. I'm just kidding. This is a real monster here. You got to deal with the situation. It's a tough situation.
No, I mean, those moments are hard. So full disclosure, when I knocked these front 3 teeth out in 2008, and, you know, like the 2 teeth are like back in the middle of my throat because they were just so like shoved back in there. Yeah. 1 tooth is in my hand. And I literally had a moment of like, I'm going to go home and go to bed.
This is just going to work itself out.
This is just going to go away.
I'm gonna feel rejuvenated in the morning, and my teeth look grown back. It's fine.
Literal fight or flight moment. Bodies and I'm like, no, this isn't happening. It's just not happening. I'm just gonna go. So I mean, that's what happens when that first chakra survival. Right. I literally was like, I'm just gonna go home. And I remember this random guy with some like Czech Republic accent or something like that. He comes, he's like, you need to go to a doctor. I was like, oh yeah, yes.
That feels
I need to do.
Yeah,
I need to do something. I have to do something. So I can have teeth.
There's a reason dentists are rich. Okay. They provide a service that is of great value to humans.
Oh yeah.
Our teeth are not meant to last. Okay.
Well, it's the densest material in the body. It's where we store all of our pain. Cavities, jaw pain. And dentists have one of the highest alcoholism and suicide rates because they're touching pain all day. And they're not educated on how to clear that.
Nip.
Yeah, total sidebar. But if you are in a fight or flight money survival situation, it's very likely that you are in a frozen state. And that is not the time to meditate more. Do not come to me. Do not come to 3. Do not even, I mean, maybe take some free classes, sure, but do not be spending your, the last few dollars that you have on something spiritual.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the one that says it. Do not spend your last dollar on, the upper chakras, right?
No, it's time to build.
Don't even spend your last dollar on a massage your body. Like, spend, like, you have to get into action and you have to do something.
Right? Yeah. You get your third chakra is the path out of
the people.
Yeah.
What? Go ahead.
I mean, your third chakra is the path out of like, okay, if I'm in intense anxiety to the point of freezing or, where the anxiety is now running the show, I need to get embodied. I need to show my body and communicate to my body, I'm going to take care of you the best I can. I'm going to be present. I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to make choices. I'm going to work whatever I need to do to fix this situation. Like, yeah, you got to get down and you got to get your emotions under control and go, I hear you. I validate all these emotions. Okay. Mom's home. I'm home. I'm not going to go to the freaking astral plane right now and be like, dear God, I need money. Like, okay.
I promise I'll never do it again if you give me money. No, yeah. So you do have to descend and you got to start to occupy that body and you have to get into action. And yeah, the lower 3 chakras get a bad rap. That third chakra, everybody calls it the control chakra. No, that's just called mismanaging your energy. And, through the curriculum work here at Boulder Psychic Institute, I can tell you exactly where you're supposed to put control energy, and it's not your third chakra. You do not control yourself or others or the environment with your third chakra. And, ideally you don't control others or your environment at all.
How's that working for you?
But if you will, that third chakra is your power center. Now, because most people mismanage their power, it gets a bad rap for being the control center, but it is your power center. And if you're managing it properly, which I can show you all how to do, you will then use your body's power to distribute it through your body to do shit, to do stuff with your body. The body is designed, you manifested this body so you can do stuff with it. Mm-hmm. And so if you stay frozen too long, it's just going to turn into this really bad snowball effect, right? I always say, if you let an energy sit in your system for more than 3 days, you're kind of stuck with it. You're going to have to figure out some other way to clear it other than just meditating it out of your space. Okay. So if you're in that fight or flight money survival space and you're on day 3, get up off the couch, stop watching TikTok, start applying for jobs, about money,
the money sound. I'm kidding.
I mean, you can definitely masturbate.
Yeah. Right.
At least you're doing something.
Just baby steps. Okay.
I channeled Maitreya at the beginning of this month, the second coming, and at the end, he's basically telling everyone that they need to get laid.
I'm fully backing that up.
I'm fully backing that up.
Yeah, life doesn't have to be hard. You can enjoy the body too, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're ideally, yeah. And so, yeah, you got to actually do stuff. And I would start to just get into action, and that's okay if you just want to take a run, care for your body, go exercise, go for a walk. Like you have to get out of the house and you have to get the body moving. The more that body starts moving, then what starts to happen is that first chakra goes, okay, well, maybe we're not in that much survival because the owner of the body is taking me on a walk or a run or, applying for jobs. That first chakra can calm. The nervous system will calm. Cortisol levels will start to calm down, which then will affect that second chakra, emotions. Your emotions won't be so erratic and out of control.
Right.
Right. And then when your emotions are quiet, you can think.
Right. I know you can't think your way out of anxiety and stress and sometimes even problem solving. You have to start using somatic tools. When your meditative tools aren't like, okay, just get focused, get embodied, get calmed down, then, okay, actually forget thinking, forget meditating, just start deep breathing, start moving your body, get 1, 2, and 3 calm down. And then, what does your third chakra, your fuel? Sometimes I visualize it as a furnace. Like, what does that need to like an old school steampunk boiler, or like what fuels you? What fills your battery? What gets
not just
moving?
And like, not just philosophically, like actually eat well. Right. Yeah. When I was at the poorest point in my life, I ate rice and beans. That was a complex protein right there. I didn't drink alcohol, I didn't eat sugar. I was like fueling my body really well. I was eating it really well. I was taking care of it because then the first chakra calms, the second chakra starts to quiet. Then you can think. Then that third chakra there's less things screaming down there. And then the third chakra has more of your body's fuel, your power to have the will to do things, to do stuff, right? And then it starts to become easy to go on that run or to apply for jobs or to go talk to people or to go to network or, get on, I don't know, become an influencer like the sound guy,
invent your own pitch.
Right.
You sell to people.
Great looking body. So I'm sure he was exercising, I'm sure he still exercises. He's not forgetting his body, but he is forgetting to tell everybody that he has a body and that he takes care of it. And that is one of the biggest ways that you only manifest through a body.
Yeah. And, I am coming off of a rough patch or a growth period, as we say at the BPI, of like, I wouldn't say it's necessarily my relationship with money. But one thing I want to bring up is like, don't waste a hard time by not looking at what is the situation trying to teach? What am I ready to learn right now? How am I ready? What am I ready to shift? What's a next step I'm ready to do? And I'm in this crunchy spot that hurts. It's uncomfortable. My shoulder blades feel like I could like crack a walnut back there, and that's the kind of meditation that I do recommend of instead of like money come back or give me the solution, give me the answer. It's almost like cheating on your homework. Like we're in Earth School. If spirit or all your spirit guides or all the ancestors just gave you the answers every day, then why are you here? What's the point? You're here to learn. And it is hard. It is humbling to realize like, oh, I did, for me personally, I don't do well without enough structure. If I have too much open-ended structure, I gain 20 pounds. I somehow don't have enough money. Now, okay, I need more structure. Great. That's one of the lessons is I don't do well without a container. And all my creative energy just kind of flies around everywhere. Mm-hmm. But my point is I don't want to be glib about financial struggle. Everyone knows what that feels like. It's the worst, and saying get neutral about it that's like, okay, get neutral about death. Those are sort of hard assignments.
True. And so yes, so I love that, you want to take the opportunity to release whatever your blocks are, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you have been unconscious around money and you're not tracking it, or maybe you've been overspending and, I'm like talking to like the big crowd out there. Great. Come into reality, but be nice to yourself.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? Consciousness is overrated.
Yeah.
God, and this is the director of Boulder Psychic Institute saying consciousness is overrated. Okay. Sometimes unconsciousness is bliss. Okay. And I don't know if the goal is to be perfectly conscious 1,000 bazillion % of the time, all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Coming from a Japanese background and my Capricorn nature, I love perfection, but that is one of the things that I'm always kind of like, you just got to kind of quiet down their perfection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so consciousness is overrated. It's okay if you have some moments like that, right? Use the opportunity to release those from a gentle place, right? But at the same time, the way you can start the way you start to find neutrality, right? Neutrality, and I teach this in class the third month here at Boulder Psychic Institute, Energy Awareness 103. Neutrality actually is a body setting that you can set in your body. And that's why I'm saying if you can start to calm those lower 3 chakras, you actually will have more neutrality around your money situation right now, right? Yeah. And then, because like what happened with me, rice and beans, right? And just taking care of the body, exercising, taking my steps, marketing, I was building Boulder Psychic Institute at the time, ridiculously poor, but I was tutoring, I was nannying as my side hustle to make money, right? I was like still doing stuff. And what I did, the way I turned it into more of a mental neutral thing, I turned it into a game.
Mm-hmm.
Turned money into a game, which hot chicks like games, right? I turned it into a game. And so this was before, Quicken or QuickBooks, or I could even afford those pieces of software. I just had my little Mac computer and I opened up numbers and I had an income and a spending column and I would track that every week. And it was a game. Could I make the income column bigger than the spending column? And it didn't need to be that much. 1 penny bigger, I was celebrating. Right? Just I turned it into a game. And the more it became like this fun game for me, then it became, then from the fun of it, right? Then I started to have more intuitive, or the crown chakra started to open up to receive inspiration around other ways that I could make money.
Another way for people that haven't taken a lot of classes, like another way to say neutral is like, it's the opposite of being in resistance, or being grippy, or like
judgment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just stepped out of judgment. Yeah. I'm poor. Just no more judgment. It's fine. I love my rice and beans, and I remember one of my friends was like, you would like eat the healthiest out of anyone I know. I was like, yeah, because this is all I can afford. I can't afford expensive cheeses or, those sorts of chocolates. Right. And, but I was pretty neutral and I just decided I was going to have fun with it.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing.
When you can turn it into play.
Everyone here listening to this, you are not in a third world country. Although it's a little questionable where we're heading right now as a country.
We don't have our currency. I mean, we don't have our currency collapsing where literally your money is worthless.
Yeah. I remember hearing stories about like when Venezuela collapsed, like these women had to cut their beautiful hair just to have to feed their children, like that's not where we're at here right now in the United States, right? At least right now, you can still go get any job, right? And actually right now is even cooler than when I was poor. There's gig jobs. You could drive Uber, you could drive Lyft, you could, you could go get groceries for people. I was talking to this guy during COVID. He lost his job. He was furloughed, and him and his wife just started, going around the neighborhood to all the elderly people who didn't want to go to the grocery store. And, they would just do it. And then people would tip them, and they're like, oh, I guess we could kind of make money doing this. And that's how they
also lean in. Yeah. You can lean into cooperation. I mean, the single greatest thing we do as humans is cooperate. Like we're really not that, like our bodies we can't run that fast. We can't dig a hole. We don't even have tails. We can't fly. Like we're not that able, but we've learned how to cooperate. And money, it's really interesting because money allows countries to cooperate easier, I think, because they're like, yeah, it's bad for business. War is, so money kind of does sometimes keep us safe of like, it's just easier when we can all do business with each other. Money will sometimes smooth things out on a big scale, but when it's scarce in small scales, you can start to cooperate with your neighbors, with your family, with your friends, which I think we've kind of lost that of like, we're not cooperating nearly as much as we could, in terms of like meal sharing and just, I don't believe bartering is the answer, but like,
I did lots of bartering during that time.
You can, and that strengthens our bonds with other humans when we can start to cooperate. And sometimes scarcity will force people to go, oh, wow, we got to work together. That's our ultimate superpower as humans, I think, is our ability to work together and solve problems.
Our greatest resource is each other, whether we like it or not.
Right. And actually being able to voice, oh, I need some help. I have to shift things around. And cooperation is a very healing thing too. And there's always something you can give. You have more to give than you realize. This is sounding slightly preachy, but
it may not have to be that you give right away too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cause now that, I'm in a better financial place, I give a lot. Back then I actually didn't have, a whole lot to be able to give. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It comes back around.
Yeah. But right. I think my biggest point is don't try and manifest money. Focus on what it is you want the money to do for you and let the universe surprise you, how it brings that into you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I always do a manifesting meditation for, 2 big vacations a year. And
why? You have kids, dude. What are you thinking? That's do you actually have fun on vacation with kids? Yes or no? I'm just teasing you.
It's getting more fun.
I've had a couple of vacations, but I was like, this is a trick. The universe played a trick on me.
I mean, I maybe this is a pipe dream and a fantasy, but I would like to give them the travel bug. And I do, I'm holding the intention that they will get better and better at travel. And I will say every year is getting better and better.
It will. Like I had my kids packing their own bags years ago, and they do it, and you just let them have a couple of trips. One time Lila packed an ice cream maker. She snuck it into her bag, like when it's frozen, like a popsicle maker, this big clunky thing. And okay. We don't carry their bags, but they'll get there.
See, but yeah, so I do, and I've been doing that ever since I was super poor, eating rice and beans. Two big trips out of the country a year, and again, I turned that into a game. And people would always say, "Well, why aren't you asking the universe to pay your bills?" And I'm like, "Well, if my bills aren't paid, of course I'm not going to go on 2 trips."
Yeah.
So I'm setting my heights, my sights a little bit higher, because, I know that if I can manifest that, then of course my bills and, everything else is going to be taken care of. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And still to this day, let's just make sure it's all taken care of. And, I'm making a little mental note. But if you will, I want to redefine abundance.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think
a big term, like
abundance is a really big trap.
because it means a lot.
Yeah, and everybody thinks they need a lot.
Yeah, right.
Right, but you can have too much. You
Yeah,
have too much of anything.
clutter.
You could have too much criticism. You could have too much clutter. You could have too much accolades. Ever been overwhelmed by too many people?
You can
Like,
have too much money. I mean,
I was going to get.
I do not want to be a billionaire. I mean, you're not even safe. You can't even. Yeah.
When you have too much, you waste it. You just waste it. Right. And so I want to change the phrase. I don't think we should use the word abundance anymore. We'll talk about
take.
I know, but I don't think we should use that. I think we should be countercultural and say fuck abundance. And hope this doesn't get taken off the internet because I use the F word. F abundance, because I think it just propagates greed and unrealistic expectations. A grounded form of abundance would be taking the lesson from my favorite spiritual teacher, Goldilocks. Just right.
Just right. I used to say that about money. There's three amounts of money: not enough, enough, and too much.
Goldilocks.
You want the middle one.
It's Goldilocks. I want to, can we make a like Goldilocks movement around money and manifesting and just life in general?
I mean, Goldilocks was kind of stealing. There was that too. Like she was breaking and entering. So let's keep workshopping this. Like those bears are like, who the F is this? Like talk about white privilege. That's like Goldilocks is just like, hi, I'm here. And I just want to be super comfortable. I want the right chair. I want the right bed. I want the right amount of food. And the bears are like, who is this in our house? But no, I like that. I used to always say that about money. Like
little bear's chair.
Right? Little bear has rights. No, there's three amounts of money: not enough, enough, and too much.
Yeah, I think just right. And in our class, well, I mean, we can use the word abundance, but I think that's going to be the first thing we're going to do is do energy work on abundance. Everybody thinks they want more. Well,
it's really interesting too, because like I have to make some budget cuts, and that is about like, yeah, I've got to do some pruning, and that brings up its own thing of like, yeah, was I perhaps being greedy? I mean, I don't think so, but was I?
I don't. So I don't see that you need to go back and beat yourself up. Just be right now in the now. Here's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And just right now. Because what was just right then is very different than what it is now.
Right.
And that is a moving target. Just like everybody thinks balance. I'm balancing my finances. I have to budget and balance things, right? Or I want more balance. And like everybody thinks that once you find balance, then you just have it forever. That it's a static thing. I found out like enlightenment. I found it and now I have it. No, like riding a bike takes balance and you're always calibrating and recalibrating. And, you're just like, oh, well,
I'm recalibrating. Yeah.
Now I got to come back this way, because this is just where we're at. But ride a bike, you have to be in the moment. Or you fall. If you're like, oh, I calibrated incorrectly back there, and you're thinking about you will hit a car. You know what I mean? And so I would kind of just encourage you to just be like, no, here's where I am now, and what's just right now. And it might be for 6 months, it might be for 9 months, it might be 1 month. Right? Like what's just right for right now.
Yeah. At heart, I'm a complete minimalist. Like. Sometimes that's what's hard about having a family is it means you need a bigger house, you need more room, you need 2 cars. I like wouldn't be shocked if when my kids are way older, I am living a much more minimal life. Who knows?
I mean, you are the ultimate trad wife. I mean, it's hot.
Oh yeah, I make
everyone 3 sewed me the cutest like napkins. Can wash and reuse and and they are so cute, and every time I use them I think about how much love or just thought 3 put into just making that, and so much better than I don't know, a gift card.
Oh yeah, both sides of my grandparents are pioneers, and I grew up like everyone had a garden, you made stuff. I'm super crafty and like I know I'm a total trad wife, except for the parts where I'm not. Don't ask me what I did last weekend. But yeah. Yeah, no, there's a huge part of me that it still has that of like, oh, what if we made all of our own shit and it was all super minimal and like, let's cook outside. But yeah. You know, I'm living in this world where you got to thread the needle with the modern world we live in. And yeah, capitalism is real. Stop trying to, you can't fight it. Okay.
Like reality. Right now, we are in a world where we are in a capitalistic society, and that's how people buy things or get things is through money, you know, and so you have to integrate. So, you know, if I were to kind of wrap this whole conversation up, I would say, you know, you got to integrate spirit and body. And can you have both?
Yeah.
You got to have both, the up and the down, right? And so, you know, have meditations around manifesting money, but you still got to take care of your body levels. You got to actually do things, right? And this is really everything that Boulder Psychic Institute is about. How do you have heaven on earth? How do you be with your body as a spiritual being? And then you'll start to see all of that playing out in your life too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, what is an interesting meditation too, is to put the vibration of money into maybe an aura person out in front of you. And like, one, what does it look like? I always call money she, but you know, how does she show herself? Is it a man? Is it a blob? Is it mean and scary? And then talk, and then see, maybe money is like, dude, you're so weird to me, you know? That's a fun one too. It's like, just have that, like,
yeah. So in one of the classes, what we do is we personify money, and then you can have a conversation with money. Is kind of what 3's saying, is just give money a personality and then dialogue with her. I kind of call her a girl too, because she's hot.
She's hot. She's I mean, you look good when you're walking around town with money. You know? It's like walking around town with a super hot chick.
Yeah, right. And a little taller, right?
Yeah. Look who's with me.
Yeah. But then, you know, like, you know, she can be too hot, or I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
So just right. All right, February 27th, everyone. The way you're going to find out about it is if you're on our newsletter. We will have our marketing out here in the next week to let y'all know about that class and get you the free Zoom link to come take it. And we're going to clear our money trauma and reset our money mindset around abundance.
I love your new hot take.
Yeah. I don't think I like that word anymore.
It's so loaded and like.
And if you have a lot, you're broken.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's fun. We should talk about that more.
Yeah.
The Boulder Psychic Institute is rebranding abundance.
Yeah. And I guess we're not using Goldilocks.
Because she's breaking intrigue. She doesn't have any boundaries. Like, getting into someone else's bed. Like, I'm just going to take a nap in your bed. What? That's weird, dude.
It's I can have it. No. Okay. We'll work about that. All right, everyone. Thank you. Next month, we actually have a hot topic. We are going to be coming on live, and we're going to talk about the male loneliness epidemic and what you can do about it as a female-bodied person. And it will probably be helpful for males too. But we just want to get on here and talk about that.
What does it mean to be a woman? Why there's this like male loneliness thing, and how do you navigate that? I'm excited.
All right, cool.
Yay. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.